ESL flew us to Munich to check out the finals of the ESL R1s and also to try out the new build of Rennsport and see what are their plans for the future. I got to try the new build with the new cars and new features, but I also got to talk with the CEO of Rennsport and ESL R1.
I'm Morris from Rennsport competition company. I'm the founder and CEO of the overall project. So ESL R1 is a part of our overall project. So we're not only developing a sim racing game, we also have as a goal really create a sustainable sport, and therefore ESL R1 is the pinnacle. And really the idea was building an environment for teams and drivers where they really could have a sustainable sport, and also it is the platform which promotes Rennsport and shows what Rennsport is and what the sim Rennsport can do. We see all the existing sim racing formats with 6 hours, 4 hours as we talked about, and for us it was important to create something new where we have shorter sporting sessions which are better usable for the social channels, Twitch, whatever, to reach out to a new audience, open up for sim racing this world. And that was one of the main ideas, creating a sporting system which is between the old one and the esport world. With the time format we have, or the sporting format we have, we took several parts from the esport world, and hopefully we can viewers from the existing esport worlds watching other titles and bringing them into sim racing and having them as new fans for sim racing and our sport here. The most important to have an overall really good sporting system. That's what we are doing with Rennsport. We have ESL R1 at the top, and then we have an open sporting system, so you can jump in, you can develop you or your team, and at the end there is a chance to jump into ESL R1 at the end of the day when you are good enough. So that's one of the core ideas behind the sport. As you can see at the ESL R1 series at the moment, we have 12 teams, and definitely there's room, and we have other slots which we can give to new teams. They come from the league or from the sporting. Will Rennsport be a GT3 title owner? I will surprise you. Yes. No, sorry, no, definitely not. But I love this question and I hate it because I heard the question 1,000 times over the last 12 months. No, definitely not. We will have a lot of more content, a lot of other cars, racetracks, and definitely then there is the whole world of modding where we definitely have no limit at the end of the day.
The content we've seen thus far is obviously very much GT3 centric, and it's possibly one of the biggest mistakes Rennsport has done in terms of communication, because it's in all GT3s, but they aren't saying anything about non-GT3 tracks or classes. But fortunately, I got to try the new car and we got the confirmation it is not GT3, and also I got to try the new tire model. Monza is a new track in Rennsport and it is a really good looker. You have great other Monza tracks like in Assetto Corsa Competizione. This one has something that sets it apart. It's the shrubbery, it's the grass that is procedurally generated more or less through Unreal Engine 5. That means that you look at the trees, they're like unique, and when you get closer, the LODs get better and better, and when you get further away, they still are very coherent. As for the meshes, for everything else, it's very well built. There's really nothing off there. As for the rest of the track, it's the same old Monza that everybody knows. The meshes are perfect, the way it looks, the way it feels, it's extremely well done. And with this BMW, with the latest version of the tire model they're running, it is pretty nice. You can go over the curbs easily. This one, the BMW M4, is more like a carpet on wheels. There are, for example, if you own a Porsche, it's a little more difficult, but you know, everything is going to change as time evolves, of course. And generally the cars are getting better. They're still, you know, not Assetto Corsa Competizione level, but this is a work in progress. However, there's something new. One of the main announcements for the this build was the Praga R1 GME Broadband Special, even though it's not related to this build. And apparently it's not only the car that comes in. This is running on a different tire model, and you can really feel it. Even though there are, you know, some similarities, you can really feel that it's a different car, and the tire model is responding in unique way. Even though it's a new tire model, there is something really Ren sporty about the way it handles. There's plenty of push through the slip angle, very normal with their current iteration of the GT3s. But that whatever I say now of the way the car drives in terms of aero loads or in terms of handling, it's very likely to change as time progresses. But that doesn't really mean much because as this progresses, the car can get better even than that, or can get worse as the sim evolves. So nothing I say here will make much sense when you guys get this car on beta, because I'm not sure how it's going to evolve. But how it is at the moment, it is interesting. It shows the potential for having non-GT3 race cars, but it definitely shows potential that in the future we're going to have something that is not really either totally a race car, or it can be something else other than a GT3 car. But definitely this Praga R1 is something work in progress. I'm not really enthralled by the tire model as it is. It is fun on the GT3 cars. It made the Praga okay, a little bit on the mess side. As the title evolves, so should the physics in the tire models, but unfortunately there weren't any physics developers. At least I've tried to find them on the place where I could talk to them to see what they have in mind for the future, how it's going to progress, where they think it's lacking.
Yeah, so this business model is definitely, there will be a part which is free to enter, so that's very important for us, that there's no entry barrier, so you could jump in for free, you could test cars or race tracks, and then there will be a subscription model with several steps. And this allows you to do different things or own different things or organize leagues or whatever. So a subscription model with free to enter. We are not only starting developing the modding tools at the moment and having the modding community involved. It's one of the big things from the summit here. So we open up the overall modding world for us and for the community. The most important thing for us is really creating a marketplace where modders can monetize their content. And the monetization system behind and the share is completely open. We will talk to the community and we will try to create best possible environment for the community to monetize it. There will definitely be a lot of tracks and cars coming from our own studio, in-house production. Then definitely when we start with the modding stuff, you will see a lot of modding things. I have no idea what they will bring in, so there will be a lot of new content available over the next month. And there will be definitely some LMDH cars this year. We will have TCR cars. You saw the Praga yesterday, and there will be 2 or 3 more surprises when it comes to cars. Nordschleife is such a great racetrack, to be honest, and there is no way not to have the racetrack. To be honest, I'm super open. The licensing fees are not that cheap, and we really decide to have Nordschleife, and it is possible for us, and we also start working on it. But we will have it in the game after the release. So there is no final decision. What we have done is we developed several tools which you can use at the moment, but we are still in development there as well. When it comes to our cars, we are offering at the moment that are cars where we optimize the physics with the tools we are offering to the community at the end as well. And we also working super close with the automotive partners and with the sim racing pros you see in ESL1, really to optimize the physics and having the best result at the end of the day for the cars you have at the moment. The keys will go out step by step. So we have more than 50,000 registrations at the moment. That's more than we thought, and we really have to do it in steps because we have to test what is the technical environment, how is the technical environment working, are there any bigger things we have to fix. So we push it like hell, and we really would love to have all the 50,000 on the platform as soon as possible.
I think ESLR1 is very much genre defining for esports in sim racing. Sim racing and online driving is in this really weird situation, really weird spot where it's trying to copy what happens on track. In my opinion, way too much. The way it was structured, the event had so much tension in the ending stages, it could go pretty much anywhere. This format will take some time to get accepted, if it gets accepted at all, but it is definitely trying something new. It tries to get to play with the community and with the viewership. It has a format that puts viewers first with a lot of action. A few of the mod creators were there, and in my opinion, it's the most interesting thing out of Rennsport that I got on this weekend, and the racing was really good on ESL R1. If it goes how the Rennsport team says it's going to go, well, I think we have something really special here. In my opinion, what will make or break Rennsport isn't really the physics, the tire model, GT3, Spa, or Nordschleife, or whatever. It will be in two areas. Those two areas will be central for its game success or demise. The first one will be, of course, ESL R1 and its format. If it's going to bring a lot of viewers from traditional sim racing, but also if it's able to capture the viewers of other more traditional esports like Dota, CSGO, and so on. Sim racing as it is a niche that is layering itself too much over the older generation. You know, my generation and older people, it really needs a new cohort with a new point of view. And even if it fails, I think they're trying a good thing of trying to bring a new viewership into racing. Then there's, of course, the modding, something that I've talked. I think the modding will be central for the success of this title if they bring all the structures they are saying they are going to bring, and if they bring the tools they are saying they're going to bring, and also if they bring a structure that allows the modders to thrive in. You know, I love Assetto Corsa, but let's be honest, Assetto Corsa without the modding wouldn't be where it is right now, which is basically the best it's ever been. But I really want to hear from you. Tell me your opinions about Rennsport ESL R1 and what you're thinking about the modding. But what I want now is to hear from you. Let me know what you thought of this video, what you thought about ESL R1, the modding potential, Rennsport and the new cars. And also I would like to thank all the members of the channel for making this a possibility.